What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and you guys know the new rule. If we're talking about something real serious or somebody potentially, being taken advantage of, we're not going to run the intro. We got a lot to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I first want to send, my condolences to the Houston family. You guys have probably already heard that CISSY, Whitney's mom, passed away today at 91. She lived a really long life. We know that Whitney was not her only child. She also had two sons, I believe. So, I'm sure the whole family is hurting. Her, Bobby, Christina, and Whitney are now, all no longer with us. So my condolences to the family. Something playing. Here we go. There's our photo. The crazy part was CISSY was going to be in one of my intros. I had just taken something out. So maybe as a rest in peace, when I'm starting to do intros again, I will include that clip. She's been in my intros multiple times because CISSY did not play. She did not mince her words. So, she was a very talented singer as well. But let's get right into the foolishness. Not the Queen of Shade. Oh, okay. Before we even get into that, let me say this. So my video, if you watched my video yesterday, I thought it was a very important video, but I did have to take it down. One reason I took it down was because of Star. Actually, shout out to the straight shooter who told me Star does not like people to reuse his content. He did not strike my channel, but I'm not that kind of content creator. If you don't want people using your content, I definitely won't. So out of respect, I took the video down, but he did do he did something with the content, but he did not strike me. I just, if people don't want their stuff used, I definitely won't. So shout out to the straight shooter who told me at the end of the live. It's cool, but YouTube has been messing with me. If you are a member and your membership was just, it was just gone. Another subscriber told me that happened to her. I'm sorry. You can just rejoin the membership. I don't know what's going on. Some people have been telling me that their actual, when they just follow me, that has been taken away as well. They have to go back to my channel and hit follow. I don't really know what's going on. Sometimes when you get a nice amount of subscribers at the same time, YouTube will do that. I don't know what that's about, but thank you for everybody who has subscribed. They are not trying to help me get to my 200K. That's what it feels like. You're undoing people's memberships, their subscriptions, whatever the case may be. They will not stop me. We still have that goal. So if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And I'm still trying to get to 25K on Instagram. My Instagram is Make It Make Sense Now. I've been told by a manager that my Instagram, I need subscribers there as well if I want to eventually dive into endorsements. So thank you guys for following. Let's get right into the mess. I'm going to say that he feels a lot more free after these court cases. He's really just out here living his best life at this point. I never thought that Dwight Howard looked like Wesley Snipes until I saw him in this wig.
Eddie, come here, Eddie Murphy. Yo, couch.
Is it? I mean, I know the reference, but it is interesting. He's calling Eddie Murphy. They do seem to have some things in common.
Fire and desire. Eddie, come here, Eddie Murphy. Yo, couch.
That's a dirty, low-down monkey with a wig on.
No, I don't know. I'm just playing. I don't know that man like that. I'm just playing. Guys, we're going to get into some stuff, so there's going to be a little bit of levity. We're going to get into some real stuff at the end of this. I cannot believe the stuff that came out of Dame Dash's mouth. In addition, there's some stuff about Diddy that we need to talk about involving the lawyer. So I'm going to try to get a lawyer on for tomorrow. But doesn't he look like Wesley Snipes?
Fire and desire. Eddie, come here, Eddie Murphy.
What was Wesley's role? Noxzema Jackson. Don't he look like Noxzema Jackson?
Yo, couch. Fire and desire. Eddie, come here, Eddie Murphy.
Okay. Oh, Ike. He does kind of look a little bit like Ike. It's the hair. Not he looks like Nene. Now, this was some more foolishness, y'all. I don't hate that Safari showed up to the Nicki concert.
Because the universe is still trying to get your person to you. So the longer you stay with clowns, the longer it takes before you find your person.
Now, the Nicki fans are here for it. The non-Nicki fans are saying, look who you married. I heard that Nicki's husband actually wanted to take a walk and go see Safari. Safari knows that Nicki's husband is from the streets. Safari is not. The people that you see around Safari was actually Safari's own paid security guard. Nicki did not have him escorted out like that. His security guards were the ones telling him, I think it's time to go. She was clowning him on stage and then awkwardly brought her husband out as she performed a song, and he just kind of like sat there, and then she shooed him away. I think if he paid for his seat and he paid for all these security guards, she should have just let him stay. But, you know, maybe he was messing with her mojo. I don't know. I don't really know the insight. Maybe he was doing that to mess with her. From the outside looking in, it did look like he was going to support. We do know that he wrote or he co-wrote some of those songs. Either way, I thought it was a mess. On to this one. It says two crazy bees telling each other exactly. There is a link up between Orlando Brown and Jaguar. I'm no longer in a space where, you know, I don't think it's funny anymore. So I would not call this man crazy. We really don't know what happened to him in the industry. And I always remind people of this.
But Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash koosmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf, the smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. I mean, you gave me the ooshkash muash. I love
We don't know. So I'll be interested to see. Now, are they both performative? Exactly. They are. We all know Jaguar will, you know, she's a good interview. But we'll see how this goes. I will definitely be front and center whenever it drops. We also saw a Jaguar Gene Deal link up. So, but let's get into, because we got a lot to get into, and we don't have that much time. We could do this quick. Janice Combs came out and said Janice Smalls Combs, the mother of Sean Combs, through her undersigned counsel and on behalf of the Combs family. I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies. To bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my own son before he's had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. Like every human being, my son deserves to have his day in court to finally share his side and to prove his innocence. Now, at this point, I was waiting for her to say him putting his hands on Cassie was unequivocally wrong. But we didn't hear that yet. I am not here to portray my son as perfect because he is not. He has made mistakes in his past, as we all have. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things. Well, ma'am, you're already contradicting yourself. And more importantly, I know you got to do this because it's your son, but you are not swaying public interest. Moreover, you are not the best barometer for what a good guy is like, considering his daddy was a gangster. Your picker might be a little off. Let me put my banner up. It's in my opinion that this woman had a good idea about who her son was. Such as denying he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend. So at that point, I'm like, okay, at least she's acknowledging that. When the hotel surveillance showed otherwise. Okay, but what about what he did to Kim? What about what he did to Misa? What about what he did to Gina? That's not on tape that we know of. Sometimes the truth and the lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit part of the story, especially when that truth is outside of the norm. Is it outside of the norm, or it's too complicated to be believed? The people are alleging that he's put his hands on you. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end. Why are you telling us what you believe? Your son didn't tell you? Resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government in this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. It is important to recognize that none of us, regardless of our status, are immune to fear or mistakes. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations and the grave charges leveled against him. I don't know what's going on with my mic. Hello? Oh, there we go. That's probably better. Let me put my mic back on. Okay, let me tell you why I feel like this was bull. If Janice had written this in her own words and not through a legal team, I would be like, this is a mother crying out. But that's not what we're getting. We're getting a very highly edited, corrected portrayal of what a mom might say. You weren't like, this is not how you speak. So I don't really understand why she was compelled to do this. You don't say anything otherwise because the money kept coming in. Janice has been made the, owner and CEO of multiple of Diddy's companies. When they allege that Diddy was moving things around, if you go into some of those court cases, you will see that Janice actually owns some of those companies. The man was a few steps ahead. But let's get into this. Reality star, and I use that term loosely. Shout out to Tasha K for putting this together. Exposes them. Now, we're not going to listen to this at the surface. We're not going to listen to it at its face. We're going to go a little bit further. And remember the term jumped in. Remember that. You guys know I already did a video on Kevin Hart and Diddy the other day. If you've not seen that, definitely check it out.
On Diddy and Kevin Hart's involvement. I know this because I was on a TV show with a girl who was actively dating Diddy at the time. There I am. A quick Google search will tell you who she is. This girl was paparazzied with Diddy back in 2022, 2023. Obviously, the cast was concerned about her because the CISSY lawsuit just dropped before filming. Now, the first week of filming just had to be Valentine's Day. Now, Diddy's girl got a very expensive bouquet of flowers delivered on Valentine's Day, but she refused to tell anybody who it was from. It's a reality show, so obviously drama went down. Diddy's girl decided to leave the house for a week. So my girl and I decided to break into her room to redecorate it for show purposes. Just playing along with the drama of the show, we were shocked by what we found.
Bro, there's no way. Bro.
I don't know that I would be comfortable if I was on a reality show. This is a side note, with people breaking into my room and going through my stuff. Now, we're all a little messy, so I'm glad that he did it. But at the same time, I would be pissed. Imagine you have something on your dresser and they read a card. He's talking about, let me see. He'll show us the picture a little bit later.
Oh my God, from Puff.
The flowers were from Diddy. Love, Puff. This sent my girlfriend into a spiral. As a woman, she was terrified that Diddy had our address. She let the girl know how she felt and put the...
It says Jade. Sorry, it's hard to read. Jade, you are the most vile, blank, pathetic woman I have ever met. So keep in mind, she didn't just leave a little note like he's saying. She really went in on this girl. You are the most vile, pathetic woman I have ever met. But they're also on a reality show, so
card back where she found it. The girl told Diddy what happened, and then Diddy threatened production. So the Diddy girl started screaming at my girlfriend, saying that Diddy was going to sue her because of what she wrote on the note. Worried that we were all going to discuss this sick shit that he was doing on our TV show. The fact that he wanted to silence a girl that he doesn't even know for writing on a note is absolutely insane. Production then pulled every cast member aside and instructed us to no longer have any Diddy conversation for the duration of the show. Diddy threatened to bankrupt our TV show and my girlfriend. We thought it ended there, right? But then Diddy's girl got mentioned in a lawsuit that came out publicly.
So Diddy is still threatened. This is, of course, this is before Diddy was taken into custody, but you're still threatening people? Are y'all here? He's still threatening people. Somebody was having a conversation. It was another content creator. I go into people's chats, and I'll converse. I enjoy doing that. And they were saying that Diddy might get bail. Diddy has flipped his nose at the government every chance he got up until he found out that he was going to be taken into custody. You still did drugs. You still had, alleged sex trafficking going on. You were still threatening people. Why should you be deserving of, and you were, witness tampering. Why would you be deserving of bail? Diddy, this man is actively saying that Diddy has threatened him. I would not be surprised if he then gets interviewed by the feds.
When this went down, Diddy's girl happened to be in a fight with another castmate. Now that castmate just happened to be dating J-Lo's ex-boyfriend Casper. Diddy's girl was scared that the other castmate was going to use this Diddy stuff against her during their fight. So she decided to make a call to, guess who? Kevin Hart. Now, at the time, none of us knew it was actually Kevin Hart until later on. So Kevin Hart called Casper and threatened him to make sure he gets his girl in check on the show. Now, Casper's girlfriend told all of us.
What? I was at the same place y'all are. So this girl is on a reality show receiving flowers from Diddy after the CISSY lawsuit dropped. So you have all eyes on you, and you are still going after new women to, allegedly have fun with. On top of that, now you have Kevin Hart reaching out. Like, what world is this?
Was that Diddy's girl was also sleeping with Kevin Hart, who happens to be married with children and best friends with Diddy. Kevin Hart clearly made the call to Casper to ensure that Diddy's girl stayed quiet about the affair that him and her were having, because once again, he's married. Kind of weird that Diddy and Kevin Hart are both sleeping with the same girl and threatening our TV show, isn't it?
Now, it's called House of Heat. Let me show you the IMDb. Let's see. I don't want to show you guys that in case, because it's on Tubi. Let's see. Okay. So this is the reality show. It's called House of Heat. Now, if I had it to guess, I would say the woman in question is probably the woman who seems to have some Asian descent because of Diddy. But, the only person I would guess that it's not is the beautiful black woman. I would guess that we're not talking about the beautiful black woman. What's up, Reddit? Oh, don't be stingy with the likes. I'm having to take whole videos down and stuff, y'all. Definitely hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I think we're at almost 193,000 subscribers.
Now listen, I'm just an ordinary blue-collar worker from Jersey, okay, who happens to be dating a famous OF model, which is how I got on the show in the first place. Now, I'm not a social media star. I'm not famous. I have no reason to lie about any of this shit, okay? Now, the only reason I'm telling you guys all this is because when I was in Hollywood filming this TV show, I went through some sick, twisted shit, okay? So let me know if you guys want to hear about it all, because I'd be happy to make a part 2. I have insider information on
Now,
Diddy.
the reason I thought this was interesting is we've been hearing, and I've said a couple things about the Diddy Kevin Hart connections, but think of it this way. If this young man is telling the truth, I told you guys what it means to be jumped in as it relates to sex work, as it relates to predators and predatory behavior. Remember that term. What happens is you meet a girl, you can, or boy, you meet somebody, and then you decide, let me see how far I can test them. Let me see if they're interested. Okay, I got you on a date. Okay, I can sleep with you. Okay, I might even take advantage of you, and you don't call the police on me. Now, all of a sudden, you're cool. The term jumped in applies to, let me tell you about my friend. Oh, you were cool with me. We're all friends. Well, I sleep with this person. So maybe you might be cool. Let me go ahead and introduce you. So am I surprised that some small-time Tubi reality star is potentially sleeping with Diddy and Kevin Hart? No. But what that says to me is there might be more jump-in type situations. You could have been, we just talked about Corinne Steffens. She was jumped in. She didn't even know she was being jumped in, y'all. She thought that she was living a very sexually free life. She was sleeping with Irv Gotti. Irv then introduces her to Diddy. Diddy says, I want you. Is that normal? First off, Irv had a wife. This would have definitely been in the Kim era. You don't go to your friend's girlfriend or even your friend's mistress and say, I want you, and then say to Irv, can I have you? That's not the way that normally works, unless the person is being jumped in. Now, Corinne had copious amounts of ecstasy. Corinne thought that it was all going to be, she thought that she was living a fully free sexual life. When you know better, you do better. Now she understands that that was being jumped in. This man, in my opinion, has just told us about somebody else who has been jumped in. Exactly, Londo. Tell your friends to get with my friends so we can be friends. We can do this every weekend. Like when you really sit back and think about this shit, it blows your mind. Honest to God, it's simple equations now. This girl, she's on Tubi. She's probably not thinking too much about anything. I'm on Tubi, okay, and this rich man is hitting me up and sending me flowers. Why the hell are you sending people flowers? You are literally in trouble for what you are doing to women. And yet you are trying to recruit new ones? Like, really think about that, y'all. It's called jumping in. And you might think that you have the reins, but then they take your choice. You might have been like, okay, I wanted to sleep with him. Oh, there are people, male and female. There are people who are comfortable with the basketball wife lifestyle, the groupie lifestyle, male, female, whatever. That's fine. Consenting adults. These people really do think that they mean something to this person. You got two alleged superstars who are in your corner threatening the production, threatening a Tubi production. Let me get that right. Threatening a Tubi production. You think you got it made, but in actuality, you're just another piece. What's up, Danielle? I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to the super chats. But I definitely know Danielle in real life. What's up? Thank you for the super chat, friend. We got like over 5,000 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. I think that we need to start looking at things past just what they're saying on the surface. He doesn't seem like, we'll say, the most cerebral person, but I feel like he was being honest. I feel like he showed us the card. He didn't even realize he had violated that girl's space. Before we get into Dame Dash, let me do these because I didn't see we had some. Worry about yourself. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Chanel's reality. You think Nicki Minaj talked to the feds? I think Nicki Minaj is in a very peculiar situation because Nicki Minaj definitely called out Foxy Brown, and they're supposed to be friends. And now Foxy is saying she would never turn on Hove. So I don't really know what that's about. I'll be curious to know if Foxy and Nicki are still friends. Hibiscus Rose, can she be called as a witness? Better hush. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about? Oh, Janice Combs probably. Who knows? She would probably lie on the stand. DeWitt Gilmore, the Night Puff. Oh, the Night Puff tried to kill me. My memoir. I'd love to interview with about the night. Diddy attacked. Oh wow, with his small army. Go ahead, DeWitt, and DM me, and we'll talk. My Insta is Make It Make Sense Now. Chanel's reality. Janice post is full of gaslighting. I can't. Yeah, she's full of. No offense, Miss Combs, but you could have left that. Reggie Moore says it's the black lady. I saw the show. It's on Tubi. Oh, okay. So let's go back to the picture. Thanks. The black lady, you can't really see her too well. She's like the smallest person on the far right. But I'll check it out, Reggie. I appreciate that. And Danielle, again, thank you. Danielle just said, Lord. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. They said it's the lady with the bob. Hey Mims, can you edit the live you did yesterday and post it as a video? I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it in members only for a little bit because the stuff about Cassie I think was like really important, but I don't like to. If people don't want you using their content, I'm not the kind of content creator to take your content if that's not, something he allows people to do. Let me see. But let's get in this Dame Dash because this was some crazy-ish. Shout out to Dame Dash. I think this is his network, America New Network. I would suggest you guys check it out without my commentary. But we got to get right into this because a lot of people don't co-sign Jag the way that he did. And he did it kind of like very flippantly, like matter of fact. So let's check this out.
Known to know him well. Do you think there's any possibility that he's involved in the whole Diddy scandal?
So,
hold on. Reggie says, no, it's the black. Oh, is she black? I feel like we are really solving the case. You're saying the girl with the bob is black? Black people come in all shades. Okay. Black people come in all shades, all shapes, all sizes. Some people are saying she's black. Some people are saying she's mixed. Somebody says she's Hispanic. I'll do a little research. I don't even know if I have the Tubi app, but I'll check it out and see what she's about. So she's biracial. So it's not the beautiful dark chocolate lady at the bottom. Okay. Reggie is on it. High vibes. Oh, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I don't determine who gets those memberships. YouTube does. Like if you're in the chat a lot, they will definitely give you the membership. What's up, Feminista? Feminista says Tubi has some great stuff. No, she is not. I have a very chocolatey hue to me. But you know, she's a pretty girl. If she's mixed or not, or whatever her ethnicity, she's very pretty. Hopefully she ends her involvement with those two.
The fact that he's just in a lot of pictures and he's over there a lot, objectively, you kind of have to wonder. It's kind of hard not to. You know, like for me, it's a little different because, you know, I once knew him, not in about, 20 years. And, I know Puff. So it's like the stuff that I'm hearing, like even the stuff that's already been admitted, like, the pause, the freak off parties. It's like shocking to me, the reality of that was going on and I didn't know. So right in this moment, like almost anything is possible. Like I would hear certain rumors and they were just too far fetched to me. But the accusations that are being made, they're beyond the stuff that I was even hearing about. So again, I would hope that he doesn't and was not involved in any of these things, just regardless of whether they were illegal or not. Just morally, it would be shocking to me, and I'm sure to the rest of the world, if he gets caught up in that. But the way they're painting this picture on TikTok and virally, and a lot of things that are being said often, it's hard not to trigger.
Okay, shout out to Reddit.
Suspicion.
Reddit is my sister in real life. If you're not subscribed to her, definitely subscribe to Reddit Lane. Okay, y'all, we got to stop this real quick. So, okay, this makes a lot more sense. This is Jade Ramey. She was the one who was named as the sex worker in Little Rod's video. This took a turn. This is one of the alleged sex workers that Little Rod said was getting paid through, what did he say, like some crazy amount through wires. It was Jade Ramey, Young Miami, and 50 Cent's baby mama. This took a turn. Instagram influencer Jade Ramey has denied claims she was employed as a sex worker by Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul 54 is currently at the center of a federal sex trafficking investigation. Ramey has taken to social media to set the record straight. Let's see. Yes, I dated someone. Dating someone doesn't directly correlate to any of the false allegations made. How unfortunate we've entered a time where caring for someone or falling in love. Okay, this was the girl who I was like, okay, ma'am, falling in love is a bit much. She said, how unfortunate we've entered a time where falling in love is worthy of scrutiny in the court of public opinion. What may be amusing for you is real life for others, and my feelings have never been for entertainment, nor are they up for discussion. We need to be more conscious as a society when ridiculing people's lives and relationships merely for enjoyment. I appreciate everyone's kindness. Kind messages and support during this time. Ramey, who describes herself online as a certified wellness coach and ordained minister, okay, ministers do come in all shapes and sizes. That's true. But are y'all going to go to this girl's church? And what is it a church of? They, the church does say, come as you are. But what is she? Oh, Jesus. What is she ministering to? Maybe she was Diddy and Kevin Hart's spiritual guide. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not. I see what y'all are putting in there, and I'm not repeating that. Look, we don't know what happened, and we have been following this court case closely. So there are a number of women who have come forward because Diddy tried to coerce them. Jade might have been one of those women. You recall on one of the complaints, or no, in the indictment, Diddy was actually calling women and saying, we're friends, right? Remember, everything that we did was consensual, right? Jade could definitely be one of those. Jade could definitely be one of those. You know, she's ministering, y'all. She's come as you are. Okay. Okay. Rami, who describes herself as an online certified wellness coach and an ordained minister, boasts 1.2 million followers on the platform. She and the I'll Be Missing You hitmaker made headlines in December of 2022 when they were photographed sharing a kiss during a dinner date in Malibu. In his $30 million lawsuit against Combs, Jones, 38, claimed that the Coming Home rapper said Rami sent her a monthly stipend for sex work. You know, Jesus did not we're not going to judge her. Jesus didn't either. He hung out with everybody. I hang out with everybody. So we're not going to judge her. I don't understand the ordained minister thing unless she's just marrying people, but even then I don't know. But I'm not going to judge her. We don't know. She could have been a victim as well. We don't really need to go into it. You know, maybe she'll come forward. She might have her own lawsuit. She might have been the one that flipped on Diddy and told that Diddy was trying to coerce her into saying that, you know, they were friends and everything that they did was consensual. She could definitely have been a victim too. So I'm just going to leave that right there and get back to Dame Dash. Saying that, you know, Kevin Hart might have, or Diddy might have put some, you got to hear the story yourself.
It's just natural.
So what are your thoughts on Jaguar Wright being mentioned all over national news?
Well, you know, again, like for a long time, or at least I would say like the last couple of months or year, at least a year, I've been seeing on social media and TikTok, you know, like bodyguards and, you know, Jaguar and different people saying extreme things. But, you know, it just seemed like it was just at social media. But when it goes to a national outlet like that in pop culture, number one, I think about it as a businessman from like my perspective. I'm like, I know how many people and how many deals that I didn't do because of people being afraid of what has been said in the newspaper. You know, whether it's true or not, people just don't like any exposure when it comes to big business, because most of the time it's not that person's money and they can't mess it up. They might get fired. So you play it safe. When someone gets on a national platform like that and it's said where everyone, that's not really good for business. I don't see how anybody would be able to continue to do business with someone after those kind of accusations are made. So in my mind, I'm like,
is setting Jag up for a lawsuit, basically, is what he's saying. And if Jay-Z can prove that somehow Jaguar's comments hurt his business, then she's now liable. If she cannot obtain any proof that he did the things that she is accusing him of. That's basically what this man is saying. In addition, you know, Jag being on YouTube is one thing. Jag going to Piers Morgan and having Piers Morgan co-sign, and that was broadcast to millions and millions of people. It could make her potentially liable if Jay-Z were to come after her.
Like, well, I guess now he's going to have to regulate that. Like, I know just from my personal experience how bad that is for business. And for defamation, when you go into court, you have to prove that you lost money, and whatever money you lost based on what that person said, if you can prove it to be untrue, then they're responsible for that. So just to me, to forget about popular opinion, just for business, I feel like, you know, I'd be surprised if that's not regulated in some legal way. And if not, then that's going to make me really curious. Now, the things that she's saying, you know,
look at how he's pausing. Everything else just flowed. Look at the cues, the non-verbal cues.
The thing about her is, like, sometimes there's a lot of truth to what she's saying based on my personal experience. I'm not going to say she's completely accurate all the time, but some of the things she said were things that I was actually thinking, but I was like, I could never say that because people would say I'm hating. But I know for a fact that, you know, the thing she said, like the thing they all have in common is, you know, R. Kelly and Puff and the Weinstein and Epstein. I know that my personal experience with the Weinstein, that I walked away and I did pay in full with them.
He is co-signing Jaguar right. Very few people in the industry do that. My mind was blown.
And because it ain't like I have to see somebody doing something so extreme and dark that that's what I wait to walk away. There's small indicators, like if you're robbing people, you're talking.
How are they going to sue her? Anybody can sue anybody, technically. But how he described libel, he's absolutely true. If Jay-Z can prove that Jaguar saying those things were hurt his business, his brand, or cost him money, he can sue for libel. Now, DeMarie said that's when the discovery would come in. And that might be why Jaguar has not been sued yet. Because discovery would be a beast with these people. They don't want that shit out.
To people bad. I don't want to be a part of that, so I'm not working with you. But so I walked away from Weinstein, and then homie did do business with him. When it came down to R. Kelly, there was a conversation had about the moralness, like it's morally wrong to do a project with someone that we know raped my girl or raped anybody for that matter. So I do know that conversation was had, and I was really surprised that he moved forward.
Y'all, there's very few things that kind of get under my skin. I said in a video that there was friction between Dame and Jay-Z in regards to what happened with R. Kelly and Jay-Z doing a collab and a whole CD and a tour with that man when there was already some friction with the whole Aaliyah thing. And I was told that I was a liar and that I was not a hip hop historian. This man is telling you himself that was the case. There was a problem that he had with Jay-Z for aligning himself with R. Kelly when they all had the Aaliyah stuff in common. I'm not a person who goes around, like I'll ask you guys, help me put this together. Reddit just helped me with Jade's name. Last name Moore sent us a super chats and let us know the show. I will ask you, but if I'm telling you that I've been told that this was an issue, I'll leave it alone. But I don't like that.
With that relationship,
you don't know.
I don't know Epstein, so I never had the chance to walk away from him. But I do know that when that project did come out, I didn't want any part of that project. I didn't want any of the money to go to Rockefeller or me when it came to Rockefeller. It was around the time that Jay was trying to kind of separate himself from us. And he was saying that he didn't want to be a part anymore. And we resolved that issue with, look, if you want, because he wanted me to dilute and he wanted Biggs to dilute. And I wasn't diluting because I know what I mean and what I do for business. And Biggs was ready to dilute. But our OG, Deuce from St. Croix, kind of stepped in and was like, that's not right. And that's how we resolved it. The way we resolved it was, you keep all the money from that project. I don't want no parts of it. The best of both worlds. So again, I mean, that is true. But
I don't have to be a historian to tell you that somebody close to the situation let me in on that. I don't have to have been there.
I just think that I think homie has to answer some questions right now. If he doesn't, it just, again, it's going to make people ask more questions. And me as a person that knew him, I'm very curious to know the stuff that they say about Aaliyah. I mean, I'm human. And when I look at things, like, again, a lot of things are weird right now. So I'm reflecting a lot. So I'm thinking, I'm like, well, homie might, he was salty a little bit because he was trying to get at Aaliyah and I was trying to get at her. But, and I know that there are people.
Something else that I talked about, and I was told I don't know what I was talking about. I specifically said that both parties tried to. No, you're defiling Aaliyah's name. No, that's just, it is what it is. I loved Aaliyah. Had every album. Well, not every album. But I know from the time she did like what was it, the Nutty Professor? From the Are You, when she was on the Nutty Professor, that Are You That Somebody? And then anyway, the point is I liked Aaliyah. I definitely did. I saw her movies. I definitely liked her. I knew she was going to be a superstar. She was already a superstar. But part of her history will always contain R. Kelly. It will always contain somebody that took advantage of her. And then some people felt like Dame and Jay-Z had also taken advantage of her. But unfortunately, this is all part of her history. And it was my understanding that Jay-Z was trying to snake Dame with Aaliyah. By the time Dame was with Aaliyah, of course, Aaliyah was of age, but you know, I was told I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, that benefited from her death. But for me, when I hear these conspiracies, I'm like, how could they be that powerful that they could get a plane or someone to crash a plane? Like, then they just be like, I don't want to say I'm underestimating people, but I don't give people like that. That's like, yo, that's the most illest gangster shit. Some Pablo Escobar, you could actually get a plane to crash. And then, you know, I hear a lot of rumors about me, like I sacrificed her and some dumb shit like that. You know, all those things. It's hard to, like, I don't want to believe that, but it does make me think it through. You know, so again, in this moment, just because there's so much gray area on a legal level, not what I'm suspecting, but like, you know, this shit is now real. Or if it isn't real, people are gonna have to prove that it's not real. And it's a moment where I'm curious. But I if any of that is true, I have to talk to a therapist because I don't know what I don't even know. I can't even like, I don't even want to go down that kind of a rabbit hole. It's just too crazy to think that me as a regular dude was in something that was just, you know, so dark, evil, and so strong and Paul is powerful that shit like this could even be almost a reality. Like,
oh, Dr.
like
Doolittle,
like,
I'm sorry.
So yeah, it's kind of
right, Dr. Doolittle.
You know, just to see the things that affected your life in such a big way for people to have different variations of what may have happened for someone that I love so much. Like, what would I do if I find out that somebody actually intentionally did that? I really don't know. But it's definitely a weird, you know, it's like, I know that this isn't a regular circumstance and I try to keep things in perspective. But yeah, like when a dude that really cared about someone hears any story of,
it's perspective. It's when you're in it, it's very hard to see. That's why most times when, you know, you might be counseling a friend and you telling them everything that they need to hear to get their life in order. And then you go home and all your life is effed up. You don't know how to get yourself out, but you can get somebody else out. That's kind of what I feel like it is. That time was probably a haze, the money, the girls, the fame, the everything. And now that you're looking back, you're like, well, damn, what was that? Like, how would your partner try to snake you for your actual girl that you're public with? It's crazy.
Of course, they're going to think it through. And especially like a person like myself who thinks in boss in general and in war. Yeah, I don't know.
So during the whole law firm's press conference, they revealed that Diddy allegedly drugged people, and this is including minors, with horse tranquilizers, leaving them unconscious until the next day. And often they were saying felt soreness in their private areas. What's your take on this?
When I heard that, pause, my mind was like blown. So, you know, again, you think of things on different levels. So one level is, that shit can't be true. He couldn't be that dark. That's bananas. Pause. Like, it's just too dark. And you think, well, damn, 120.
Chloe says, Mim, stop trying to be a part of the story. I don't want to be a part of the story. I love flying under the radar. And if you're a straight shooter or you've been with this channel, you know that. But that doesn't mean that I can't call out situations where people are basically calling me a liar. And then it's proven that I was not lying out of the horse's mouth. That I will do, but no, I want to go under the radar. I don't need any of these people to know me.
20 people is a lot of people. But even if 1% of that is right, it's crazy, unforgivable. And then I'm thinking, well, shit, that lawyer, you know, he has a pretty solid history, and it would be pretty embarrassing for them to expose themselves in that way and be wrong. And then I'm looking at, they got the number while they were doing the press conference, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Day for at least 120 different days, there's going to be a different lawsuit with, and some people knew, but I guess the general public did not. So does that mean that everybody that went to his party and that celebrated him, if that's true, does that mean they were celebrating evil? Is that a form of, like, you know, unconscious devil worship? And what was really disturbing to me about that was that they said that the pattern was they put stuff in people's drinks and then they would pass out and wake up sore. And number one, I'm like, wow, how many times have I been in an environment where someone tried to pass me a drink?
Listen close.
And I didn't take it. And now I'm like, who was trying to line me up? And I think pause that
I don't. Somebody
It's
asked, why
justified.
does he keep saying pause? I don't know. That might just be his vernacular.
I didn't warrant it to reflect because I was around these people and I didn't know they played those games. And it's another level of gangster. So again, I ain't got no problem with people being gay. But if you're pretending you're gay and you're a gangster, that's gay gangster. And you could get robbed of your money, but you also could get robbed of your manhood. And that's a whole nother level of disrespect. And, you know, I'm thinking, I'm like, so I'm remembering when I was on Drink Champs. And then again, I have to think this. So Nori, don't think I'm beefing with you, but I just have to reflect. And I was on Drink Champs. And Nori was so adamant about me drinking Ciroc.
No, I can't do that no more.
That was yours, man.
It's over because
No.
Not the interview. Come on, Dane.
How about this? We'll finish it with a shot of Ciroc.
Can you show Elliot Wilson for me? Well, let's take a shot of vodka. No, let's take a shot of vodka. Then.
Are we done though?
Vodka.
Well, I mean, I don't even need it, but
There's another one.
So it was important for him to take Ciroc because that's Diddy's. Drink Champs was one of Diddy's programs, and I guess everybody on a Diddy program has to drink his liquor. It's a little weird because I don't drink vodka.
You gotta do a shot of vodka. Come on,
At the
please.
end, we're not done.
I fucked with you the whole night. You didn't won.
I said when we finish, we're not done.
No, Tito, help me. Come on. He's clear. I'm with you. I'm in with you. Can you want me a shot too, Dan?
But why you gotta put the ice in the shot?
Because you gotta be sophisticated.
All right, you gotta have ice cubes. I don't know you're gonna have to do a shot with ice cubes.
Yes, you gotta do a fucking shot with ice cubes.
Shout out to
This is good shit.
Well, that's what you do on Drink Champs. It's all about drinking.
All right, and you want to take a shot? Let's take a shot, Ciroc.
Go ahead, pour it.
Oh, you want me to pour you? He's a gangster. When a nigga tell you he want him to pour you a shot, that's so gangster.
I just poured yours, right?
All right, well, we even. Look. You gonna take mine? Oh, look at that. I'm in. Let's do it. Eye to eye. Told you.
What do you mean? Why your hands not?
I don't know why I keep doing this show. It's not proper. I don't do this. I went to Runyon Canyon today, and I was like, why did I do this? Like, what did I accomplish?
Can I take the ice cubes out? I never took a shot with ice cubes.
Nah, but you're in my world now. That's not gangster. You got to do the whole thing.
Because what's crazy to me is if his hustle is putting stuff in people's drink, he made a liquor. I mean, that's the illest shit in the world. That everybody was partying and you don't know what was in that drink. And if he was undercover gay, because I didn't know it.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, if he was men out.
I'm clearly not from New York. Forever, for always, forever, for life says Mims. Pause was invented in Harlem when you say something that sounds gay. So pause was like the first no Diddy. Oh, okay. That does put a different spin on this. Thank you, because I didn't know. Okay. I'm gonna leave that up for a minute.
And they were waking up violated. He's making somebody gay that doesn't want to be gay. So I'm like, what was in them drinks? And then I'm starting to think like, damn, when did hip hop start to lose its masculinity? When did dudes, and again, no disrespect to nobody, but like tough niggas started wearing dresses and pocketbooks. Like maybe that could be the reason. And I'm just thinking it through. Like maybe that could be the reason why hip hop took a turn for the feminine, because that shit, if homie is really putting shit in people's drinks, he's making the liquor. You know, again, I don't know, and I'm not even saying it to be funny, but they saying, homie was putting shit in motherfuckers' baby oil. So how could you trust that person to serve you drinks at such a big scale? So I'm remembering Nori so adamant about me taking a shot of Ciroc, and I'm like, nah.
Hey, no, I didn't.
And I brought my own, and now y'all can understand why I always want to make my own. So I brought my own liquor. You know what I'm saying? I was
way before the Diddy stuff, to be honest with you guys. Whenever I go to somebody's event, I always bring them a nice bottle, but I always have my own bottle, honest to God. And if they have somebody like serving at their event, I let them know, like, this is like my private reserve. This is for the rest of the guests. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And now after all this shit, more people probably should be doing that. Everybody always laughed at me. Why are you bringing 2 bottles to a party? Because this is mine and that's everybody else's. Maybe more people should be doing it.
Taking shots of my own. And then what happened, I made him take shots of Ciroc. And then he ended up getting too drunk, talking about take your shirt off and all this type shit. It's on tape. So it ain't like you just naturally start to think of things. And then, so I brought my own liquor. You know what I'm saying? I was taking shots of my own. And then what happened, I made him take shots of Ciroc. And then he ended up getting too drunk, talking about take your shirt off and all this type shit. It's on tape. So it ain't like you just naturally start to think of things. And then I was thinking, there was this one time that when my daughter was 16, Jay had a show. and my daughter wanted to go. So I'm like, yo, I'm not going to deprive my daughter. So, I hollered at.
Guys, we got over 7,000 in the chat. I don't know where we are on likes, but definitely hit that like button. Let's see. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're almost at 193,000. We have a goal of 200,000 by the year end. We got like 2,000 likes. Let's try to get to 4.
Jay sent a kite and told him I wanted to go to a show with my daughter, and they accommodated me to the fullest. People were really surprised to see me there, took pictures with everybody. But, and again, that means my brother, so I would hate to think that he was fucking around like that, pause. But he kept asking me something. That was the first time I had tasted that Douce, and I got ridiculously drunk to the extent, and my daughter and I were talking about this the other day, that I was like, yo, I don't get this drunk. Why am I so drunk? And I ended up, pause, wrestling with Kevin Hart. Paul nigga got me a chicken wing. And I remember Vaughn taping that shit. And I'm like, yo, why you taping, Vaughn? So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, because homie makes drinks too. And again, just if this...
Normally I would throw in a funny video here, but this is not funny. He's sitting there telling you that they were having him drink a certain type of liquor. He does not usually get this drunk, and he ends up wrestling with Kevin Hart at this party while somebody is taping it. Are y'all hearing this?
He was fucking around like that, pause. But he kept asking me something. That was the first time I had tasted that Douce, and I got ridiculously drunk to the extent, and my daughter and I were talking about this the other day, that I was like, yo, I don't get this drunk. Why am I so drunk? And I ended up, pause, wrestling with Kevin Hart. Paul nigga got me a chicken wing. And I remember Vaughn taping that shit. And I'm like, yo, why you taping, Vaughn? So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, because homie makes drinks too. And again, just if this is true.
I don't know where the chicken wing came into this whole situation. Is Kevin Hart, is his nickname Chicken Wing? Was he holding a chicken wing? Why are they wrestling? See, if I get drunk or buzzed, I don't like anything to mess with my buzz. I don't even like to see people like fight or argue. I like to just have a good time and go home. I don't know of a situation at this point in my life where I would be drinking with my friends and just start wrestling. Now, if one fight, we all fight. But in just casual, good buzz times, I'm not... Were they fighting over the chicken wing? Oh, okay. Chicken wing is the headlock he had him in. Okay. So he had him in a chicken wing. Okay. This shit was confusing the hell out of me. Okay, so you had him in the chicken wing. But why did you have him in the chicken wing? Y'all got to be at least 40, 50 when this is happening. I don't know what the hell this is, but I believe Dame. I definitely believe Dame. If he is now having like some retrospect to times where he was around these people, they're having him drink things that he does not necessarily drink. It's being filmed and recorded. They're telling him to take off his shirt. They're telling we're wrestling now. I believe Dame. And I don't really know what the hell to do with this story. That's what I be saying. This shit is so weird and salacious. All you really have to do is listen to what people are saying. It's crazy. Dennis Baker, thank you for the super sticker. Caribbean gal, she was supposed to bless the baby. Crystal Cove says, how is Dame talking morally about anything when he was with Rachel Roy and she was pregnant with their daughter while he was hooked up with Aaliyah? Damn, I didn't know that. Dame is starting to mirror his crazy ass cousin Stacy. Now, Stacy is crazy. I don't like to call people crazy, but something's going on with Stacy. Y'all remember years after DMX died, she got on live crying, saying, nobody told me DMX died? Okay. Miss Royalty, thank you for becoming a member. Just Patches gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, because we're actually supposed to talk tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do that during lunch or what, but we got to talk about some things, some behind the scenes with some of these videos that I've done some people who aren't exactly pleased, what it means to actually have a source and respect your source, what people want from me, some potential work that we'll talk tomorrow. Crystal Cove, thanks again. Sue and Jag is like effing around with Pandora's box. The discovery would be one hell of a 10-year span because you would have to go deep inside with all these people. Crystal Cove says, hire the dude who, talking about the Aaliyah crash. Hire the dude who's known for being a drunk and on drugs. A pilot who had lost his pilot license to fly the plane is how you increase the chances of crashing a plane. What she's talking about specifically is Jack had made an allegation that Jay-Z had something to do with Aaliyah's untimely passing. The G list, it says, I don't get why Dame and Cameron keep saying pause. The D must be on their minds than the average gay dog. I do, when I hear no Diddy all the time, it does kind of get on my nerves. Voiceovers by Stephanie says, you are incredible with bringing the hot tea. Thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Stephanie is, really showing us some things in her. I need to step my game up for my picture on my avatar because y'all be killing it. Jessica says, just want to say you're amazing, Mims. Thank you for always keeping us informed. I like Jessica's pick too because it looks like she's naturally a happy person. Keita said, thank you for becoming a member, Keita. Anitra, it's going to tear him up when he find out about the dark shit Jay-Z and Puffy did. Mims, let it be known that you said you were wrong. Now the truth is out. They did tell me I was wrong. And I thank you for co-signing what I said, Dame. Black American, that is a strange series of events. Thank you. Y'all put in the chat, if you were watching this on the replay, put in the comment section, have you ever been male or female, around 40 to 50 years old, drinking with your friends and end up putting them in a headlock after they're telling you to take your shirt off? Let me know if that's normal, because maybe I'm just not living life. S. Marlene says, I wonder if any of this is why Kevin Hart abruptly closed all his restaurants last month. Marlene, we don't technically know what this ripple effect is and will be, because all of those people all the CEOs in the music industry that quit right after Puffy got arrested was crazy. They're kind of going under the radar for now, but Kevin Lyles, people are waiting. And A Jazzy, thank you so much for joining the membership. They said no, weirdly. Okay, I mean, maybe I'm just not living life. I don't have those type of friends. No, that would be a no. Yes, that Becky. Nobody was ever in those. Meaning Kevin Hart's restaurants? Nope, never. I just may not be living life. But I thought it was really interesting that he gave this interview, or this is on his own thing, so I don't think it was an interview. I would suggest you guys actually watch the whole thing. I will link his video in there. I like to give credit, and I believe that this is his.
These are the things that I'm like just reflecting on. And if I wouldn't have played everything completely by the book, complete honor, then I could have been compromised. And what would have happened if I ever woke up feeling some kind of way? Compromised. What would I have done? And then I start thinking, I'm like, yo, homie's really a gangster, because that whole time, like after the first Cassie case came out, and he was just out smoking a joint, dancing, like literally to the day he went to jail. He was out in the park. Like, you would have never thought a person had all those problems. Like, I couldn't have handled that. So what it led me to believe is like, yo, things could be going a whole nother way over there. You'll never know.
Crystal Cove, let me just say this really quick. Crystal Cove, I appreciate you. Crystal Cove has sent, I think, like 4 super chats. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who likes the video. Super chats are a really nice way to support the channel. I really do appreciate you. She says, I don't think Dame's chicken wing story is just a short. Oh, it's a confession. So you feel like he's putting that out before it shows up on a tape? Maybe. Crystal's out here solving mysteries. Trap House Mysteries. Dame is creating a narrative like a victim because he knows he might possibly come up in some of these allegations. Love you, Mims. So y'all are on the Dame. Damn. And happy birthday again, Trap House Mysteries. Hopefully you lived it up and nobody put you in a headlock. Ray, yes, my first members only. Love you, Mims. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. We got some stuff to discuss. He might be doing like a preemptive tell-all. Who knows? But for him to come out and say it, I appreciate it because it puts a piece to the puzzle that we needed, I think. And for somebody who's in the industry to co-sign Jaguar, I think that's needed as well because, as he said, people know things. They just don't want to mess up their money. Sweet Ice Black Tea says, hi, Mims. Thank you for always being humble, polite, and appreciative to your audience. It means a lot. Please don't ever change. I don't intend to, but thank you. That was really nice of you, Sweet Ice Tea. Guys, I got to run, but we will definitely be back tomorrow, and I definitely will be doing my members only live tomorrow. So see y'all there and see y'all live tomorrow evening because I'm going to try to get an attorney on here so we can talk about what's really going on with all these attorneys they say are shopping tapes and it's unethical. We got a lot to discuss, but y'all have a good night. Like the video on your way out and subscribe. Literally, if everybody in here subscribed today, we would be at 200,000 tomorrow. But I know a lot of y'all are subscribed anyway. But anyway, you guys have a good night.